If you are new to our channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.
Coming up on the program, it's time to harvest our garlic. We're a few weeks behind, but nevertheless, it'll be just fine. And we've harvested our garlic. Now what do we do with it? I'll show you how to cure garlic. All that and more coming up today on the Wisconsin Vegetable Gardener.
The Wisconsin Vegetable Gardener is sponsored by the following. MIgardener.com, with over 450 varieties of non-GMO, heirloom, organic flowers, vegetables, and herb seeds, all for 99 cents. MIgardener.com. HappyLeafLED.com, a commercial-grade grow light with a home gardener's affordability. All indoors, no fans, no motors, simply plug in and grow. Great for seed starting, to lettuce, to full-grown tomatoes. HappyLeafLED.com.
Sustain Natural Fertilizer, offering superior organic plant foods that deliver research-proven results. Trusted by farmers, growers, and gardeners for 30 years. Learn more at sustain.com.
Welcome to the Wisconsin Vegetable Gardener. I'm Joey Baird. We're going to harvest our spring garlic or summer garlic, whatever you want to call it. This was planted the first Saturday in October. That's what we always do it here at Zone 5A in the Wisconsin Vegetable Gardens. Just what has always worked. The reason why we choose to do that is we plant the clove from the bulb of the largest bulbs of the largest cloves to get the largest potential cloves and bulbs for the following year. I'll go over that again. We plant the largest clove from the largest bulbs that we harvested, and then that gives us the better opportunity to have a large bulb this year. So out of what we harvest today, we will save the largest bulbs, which will contain the largest cloves, so we can plant in October in just a few months. So this is our fall. We do have some spring garlic that's not ready yet. We've just harvested the scapes off of those. So in about 3 weeks, those will be ready. And I'm interested to see how the bulb development has occurred, because that's a totally different planting technique than what these are. We plant them in the fall so they get root established before they go into dormancy, and then in the spring they explode out of the ground. So how do you harvest garlic? You want to use a shovel. You can use a shovel, that's fine. We find that a garden fork works the best. This is a hard tine flat fork. This is not a hay fork that you get at your farm store for farm use, specifically for gardening and landscaping. So you want to take, and you notice there's a lot of weeds in here, a lot of creeping Charlie, a lot of other things. Not really concerned with that at all, because we've had some very warm temperatures and dry conditions. So even this ground cover, though it may be a nuisance, it's called creeping Charlie, it's part of the mint family, it's very invasive, it actually shields the ground as a barrier, of a living mulch, let's call it, and it does have some benefit to helping retain moisture. It does suck moisture up, it does take some nutrients, but overall the beneficial aspects of it is greatly positive versus the negative. So let's go in here. We don't want to pull the plant out, because this will most likely dislodge the stalk from the garlic. This is hardneck garlic, which means the stalk goes all the way through the bulb. We grow hardneck garlic because it grows best here in the northern climates. You can grow softneck garlic, but it does. People have said it doesn't do as good. We've never tried growing softneck garlic, so we don't have personal experience from it. And with the hardneck garlic, you get the scape. Softneck garlic, you do not. So we want to get next to it, and we've just had a rain, so it makes it very easy. And we're just going to lift it right up, shake the dirt off, and that is in a very beautiful bulb of garlic. Now, the varieties in which we grow, we don't have labels on this is this and this and this. We grow Purple Galaxy, Spanish Roja, German Hardy, Georgia Crystal is some of the varieties that we grow. Now, what is this? Not a clue. We are not in the business of saving those specific varieties for those specific traits. We just grow the biggest, best cloves in the following year. So now, I'm going to harvest all of this. And what you want to do is we want to leave this all intact for the curing purposes. And see, as I pulled that down, it pulled some of that skin off, which is fine. Now, if it's really wet, you can let this set out in the sun for a couple of hours or a day and let it dry, and then get all that dirt off of that. So let me harvest the rest of this. We should have about 100, we should have 75 bulbs here. We do have some over on the other side of the trellis that we'll harvest too. Those look much larger than what these do. So we'll just go in here and we'll get the rest of these harvested. So we've harvested, I think we've got somewhere around about 70, 75 bulbs here of garlic. Some very small, and others are very large. It just depends on the variety, it depends on the growing conditions in which it was grown in the two beds. That's a decent sized one there. Now, just because, we forgot some scapes on some of these. If you forget the scape, what happens is the curl becomes straight, and then it'll become a seed pot. Now I'm 5'9", so it's 6 foot tall here. If we would just leave this alone as is and just let it sit in the corner of the room, this will fully develop mature seeds. It will pull all the energy from the bulb. The bulb will get smaller and it will develop seeds that you can plant, but it takes about 24 months for the seed to germinate or to develop into the bulb. That's why we take the cloves and plant them in the fall for spring harvest or early summer, which only takes about 9 months. So, and this does decrease the bulb size as it sits now if we would have remembered to harvest this. But we left several of these strategically because we do perform or have a basics or a growing great garlic, and we do want to demonstrate and show what the scape looks like if left untouched. So garlic harvest, you can use this right now. You do not have to cure it. It's called green garlic, but if you cure it, it will last much, much longer. Ground cherries are a crop that maybe many people don't grow or are unfamiliar. They can grow in their gardens. We're in the northern climates here in Wisconsin, zone 5, and they do grow even up in Canada. A ground cherry, and this is what we have representation here, is a miniature example. They're not the greatest, largest plants at this portion of the season. They are small plants that can get the size of tomatoes. They will get 2, 3, 4 foot tall when you start it out in a good situation, and you have the variety in which will grow that. These here were very small starts. We had issues with potting soil this year, and these are small starts. I have a friend who has them in containers, and they are over 5 foot tall right now, very lush, and a stalk the size of a broom handle. So these will get very large. Now, a ground cherry has pods. They are related to the tomato, and once the pods dry and drop on the ground, then that's when you can actually harvest them. What you'll do is you'll pull the pods open and you'll have the cherry. Now this cherry has a vanilla pineapple type of flavor to it. These are on the smaller side. They can get larger, but you don't want to just go to the plant like you would a tomato and go, okay, pull, 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 because there's very little fruit in these pods right now. They are developing. This is a plant start in which we got. So you can see the size is a little more larger, and there is a pod here that is getting ready. They'll change from that greenish lime to a white, off-white, and then when they drop, if they stay on the ground long enough, the netting will completely break apart. These are edible. You can make jams, jellies, you can eat them just as is. But we find, now that we understand how they grow, and again, if you have good plant starts at the beginning of the season, it makes a tremendous difference. If we had good plant starts, they would look like our tomatoes. They would be 2.5, 3 foot tall. We'd have them all caged. But they are short and stocky, but they're still producing some. So this is a learning process. But ground cherries, it's something you may not have grown, you may not known about, but this is how you grow them, how you harvest them, and what they taste like. Curing your garlic after harvest is important because that will help the longevity of the garlic. Now, how long can garlic set and be good? Hard-neck garlic, we have found that, and we only know hard-neck garlic because that's all we've grown, it will last about a year. 9 months really good, a year okay. Beyond that, the cloves begin to dry up inside of the actual bulb itself, and then it's really inedible at that point. Now, we do have some. I was going through some stock We do have some that's almost 2 years old. That is still decent. It's not great, but we can grind it up and turn it into garlic powder. But let's talk about curing the garlic we've just harvested here. We want to harvest the entire stalk in it, and because we want to hang it vertically. We can bundle 4, 5, 6, 7 of these together, and we want to hang it. Let me get one that doesn't have escape. Okay, we want to hang it like this. The reason being, we want gravity to work with us. By doing this for 2 to 3 weeks, the top will become brown and dead. The energy and juices will actually impermeate more into the bulb, and you'll get more of an intense flavor. You want to hang this in an indirect area, eave of a porch, a barn, a parking structure of some sort that's open. We actually have a spare bedroom that we close the door and open the windows and hang it in there. Now, you do not have to hang this up in order for this to work. We've done this a couple of years. We've taken a tote like this and simply just put all our garlic like that. And it does dry, and it doesn't mold or anything. We don't stack it so tightly that we can't, get any air circulation in there. But we'll loosely pack it in there, and it's worked really, really well. We don't have to worry about tying it off and hanging it somewhere. We can just set this in the corner of that bedroom, keep the windows open, let the airflow go through, separate it, or you can do this in the garage or wherever the case may be. But you can use this right away. It's called green garlic, but to cure it, you want to hang it or set it up. Now, after it's all done and dry, you can trim the roots off, and you can trim the stalk up to the bulb there, or we always leave 2 or 3 inches just to make it look nice. There's no right or wrong way about doing that. Now, as it dries, all this dirt will flake off, so you kind of want to make sure if you're hanging it somewhere inside, this is going to fall and it's going to be easy to clean up. This tub works very, very well. So, harvesting your garlic, curing your garlic, it's a very easy crop to grow, and if you're not growing it, I would highly recommend you try growing some this fall. Thanks for joining me. Join me again next time for more organic gardening and food preserving. I'm Joy Baird, and this has been the Wisconsin Vegetable Gardener.
For more information, please visit thewisconsinvegetablegardener.com.